It feels good to have such a long-standing problem behind us. Adventurer, why don't we go for another drink? Shall we head back to Heidel? And don't worry, it's my treat today. I'll go ahead and grab us a table. Feel free to take care of any business you need to attend to first. Don't be too late. Golden Toad Inn, got it? Shall we head back to Heidel? I'll go ahead and grab us a table. Don't be too late. Golden Toad Inn, got it? See you there.
Head high for long.
Come on, don't be shy. Come on, don't be shy. Have a drink. It's honey wine brewed at Alejandro Farm. Simply divine. You're finally here. Have a drink, have a drink. Let's drink until we're black-spirited. Ha 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 ha. Come on, don't be shy. Have a drink. It's honey wine brewed at Alejandro Farm. Simply divine. You have to down it in one go. Ready? That's the spirit. Oh, I feel alive.
Why, Lady Durette, you can certainly hold your liquor.
Huh? Isabel, what are you doing here? Don't tell me you followed us.
Me? Don't be absurd. We, the Jean Merchant Guild, have acquired this establishment.
Ah, that Bobby Lauren, all talk and no action. I'm in a good mood today. I'll let it slide.
I hate to show up and spoil the mood, but it's a rather urgent matter.
What is it? It better not be something trivial. From tomorrow, this inn will be under strict surveillance.
It's about the war. The war between Serendia and Calpheon.
What? What are you talking about? Did I hear you correctly?
Yes. Grand Chamberlain Jordine Ducasse is planning to wage war against Calpheon.
Do you realize what you're saying? Serendia is a vassal state. Why would we... If you're not careful with your words, both Trina Knights and Delphi Knights will come marching this way.
I'm well aware. That's why I'm discussing this discreetly with you and the adventurer. Simply put, the current standing Serendian army is too large to merely be used for subduing bandits and demi-humans. Despite being burdened with high taxes, farms across Serendia are stockpiling surplus, and Median mercenaries are quietly amassing while only being appointed to menial tasks. You've seen it with your own eyes, haven't you? Adventurer, you too. Don't tell me you believe all this was done to bolster the strength of the nation. And don't misunderstand. I want to prevent a war. I just want to grow the Shan Merchant Guild by boosting Serendia's economy. Besides, Calpheon is about to hold an election for Chief Counselor. They don't want any ruckus. My father, a member of the Callis Parliament, is a candidate for Chief Counselor.
You... Ugh. I will not! This concerns my people. If you were me, how could you possibly remain calm after hearing such slander? Ugh. Do you have any proof? This is all circumstantial. I must hear it directly from Sir Jardine himself. I cannot trust the words of some merchant. I cannot just...
Don't worry about the little lady. I've already sent word to Sir Roig. We're short on time. We need to resolve this matter entirely within a few days. Thanks to the exceptional skills of our newest member, we've already made great progress. The Baron of Montfidel stirring up conflict, the Fogans and Nagas threatening Glish, and the Orcs' gradual expansion of power. Not to mention the delivery issues at the extraction mill. Now only the Baragi bandits remain. But isn't the standing force of Serendia a bit excessive for that? The Callis Parliament has already begun to notice. Sooner or later an inspection team will be dispatched. Imagine Calpheon requesting a reduction of the standing army. Would Jordine really want to give up all that power? In that case, he would probably go to war. Even if he doesn't desire it, the situation will force his hand. You mean the embezzlement at the Black Crystal extraction mill, right? I knew that wasn't Serendia's fault. Seeing the look on Sir Edmund's face when you presented that Black Crystal, it was obvious what he had been up to. At first, I thought it was Jordine embezzling for his military nest egg. Well, I suppose they're both guilty of embezzlement in the end. The important thing is what the Callis Parliament thinks, not where the Black Crystals ended up being used. I'm certain someone I know well within the Council is likely to have connections with Sir Edmund. Hold it. Let's sort things out one at a time. It's better to tackle everything clearly. Right, Rookie? Taken aback by the title? I did promise you a position for a job well done. Worry not. The title will soon prove a useful status to wield. A fine plan. The Grand Chamberlain already trusts you. If there's anyone he'd let his guard down around, you are the only one in all of Serendia who can gather reliable information directly from him now. But remember, don't push him too far. If something unfortunate happened to you, it'd be quite the shame. Got it? I'll look into the financial records of this inn. It seems it was once the base of Bobby and the Hydel League of Merchants. Well, I know the real power was his sister, Grace Lauren. But, judging by Bobby's demeanor, I doubt we'll get anything interesting out of them.
Adventurer, please come in. Are you just returning from having a drink? Praise for you has been abundant in my circles. I simply couldn't resist extending an invitation to meet. Sir Roig came back carrying Lady Jarette. I suppose you were her drinking companion? I first perceived you as a young, ambitious upstart, seeking to rise above their station, but it seems Lady Jarette saw something more in you I may have overlooked. So, what brings you to me? For you, I can spare the time. Let's be frank. The lives of Serendians have changed little under Calphion's rule. His Grace has always been a king to his people, and I'm merely ruling in accordance to his wishes. Recently, due to issues with our finances, we've had to raise taxes. Rest assured, it's only a temporary measure. But ever since that war, since our defeat, Serendia has been robbed of the opportunity to grow stronger as a nation. Our country may have lost the war, and our king his crown, but the victors did not strip us of our autonomy. While we may appear free to politic in our people's best interest, Calphion continues to chip away at our rights one by one. Take the Black Crystal extraction mill, for instance. Anything produced there is automatically property of Calphion. The Black Crystals hold the potential to make our nation a political superpower, yet we are not even allowed to study and research them. Calphion crushed us because of those Black Crystals, and now they're taking them from our lands too. I yearn for my homeland to become a country of greater strength, a country that won't be infringed upon by foreign nations. The first step will be to reclaim the rights to the extraction mill. With those resources, we will be able to accomplish even greater feats. It won't be an easy task, which is why Serendia needs more talents like you. If you agree, I plan to introduce you to His Grace tomorrow. The wealth and honor I promised will follow. If you view it as just another slick politician's rhetoric for the nation, it might be hard to grasp. I too am a citizen of a defeated country. The horrors of war were an unavoidable fate for my family as well. Indeed, my youth was a hedonistic blur of boozing, womanizing, and gambling. After the war, my life changed. It's not the most exciting tale, but would you care to listen? My father was once Lord Constable of Serendia. Then one day, he was exiled. He was accused of deeply offending the king. As the scales tipped, I lived recklessly. I wallowed in the arms of a woman named Roxanne. Alfonso, ever earnest, had eyes only for Princess Jarette. I wished him the best. Then, suddenly, the Princess of Calphion, who was married to one of the princes of Serendia, died. Calphion pinned the blame on Serendia and waged war against us. In the ensuing war, my father was killed. Consumed with anger and grief, I enlisted in the army alongside Alfonso. I still remember the moment I reclaimed my father's sword from the blood-soaked battlefield. We were on the cusp of victory when Princess Jarette was taken hostage. Alfonso proposed the formation of a rescue party. His intentions were clear. He wanted to make a name for himself, elevate his status, and win the heart of his love. However, it was I who ended up rescuing the princess locked in the tower. Alfonso, unable to contain his eagerness, wounded his leg. The rescue operation did not go as intended. General Cliff used me as a decoy to escape with the princess. As a strategist, it was the obvious choice. I was left to survive by the skin of my teeth and return to Heidel. Upon my return, I learned Serendia had been defeated. The king had surrendered and was now a duke. The Calpheon army then swept across Serendia, reducing Monvedel to ruins as a stark example. Then I began courting Jarette. Alfonso, in shock from all that transpired, went into seclusion. A year later, when the Duke returned from the war tribunal, Jarette and I pledged to marry. In that moment, the sole survivor of a crumbling family became the heir to an entire country. Shortly after, I became Grand Chamberlain, overseeing affairs of state in the Duke's stead. Now, with unfettered access to our nation's secrets, I learned of everything that had occurred during the war. My parents passed away while resisting Calpheon's attack on the Western Front. That tragedy was avoidable and born entirely from General Cliff's misjudgments. I couldn't stand the sight of him, so I demoted him and sent him to the outskirts of Balanos. Calpheon then constructed a black crystal extraction facility in the Western Swamp, keeping its output for themselves. It was only then that I came to understand the princess's death had been but an excuse to wage war, to obfuscate their true intentions. Moreover, the subject of my youthful affections, Roxanne Fiazza, was discovered to be a Calpheonian spy. By plunging Serendia's royal family into chaos, Calpheon created an excuse to attack. She orchestrated the princess's kidnapping and delivered Calpheon their victory on a silver platter. There were many questions I wished to ask her, but alas, she had already taken her own life. Ever since then, I've been living desperately to set things right again. Calpheon stole everything from my country. Everything from me. My family, my country, everything. Feels good to get that tale off my chest after so long. Give my proposal some thought and let me know what you decide. An opportunity like this doesn't knock twice. I trust you understand. And yes, it pertains to the White Witch you've been seeking. There's a theory suggesting she's connected to the disappearances we're investigating in southern Serendia. But for now, evidence is merely circumstantial, so there's not much to go on. I'll let you know as soon as we have something solid. I've prepared a special meal for you. The cook here is quite skilled, so please, give it a try.
Are you back from meeting Sir Jordine? How did it go? Did he say anything? So, even though he didn't say it outright, an intense fury for Calpheon burns within him. Well, there's nothing more we can do for now. Let's get some rest and reconvene tomorrow. It's nothing luxurious, but I've arranged a room for you. I hope you sleep soundly. Jean Merchant Guild would bring great profit to
How could this happen? Tell me! Why are they tormenting us like this? Adventurer, what are we to do?
Don't cry, Lady Jarrett. The heir of Serendia should not shed tears over such matters.
Calpheon ordered us to disband our army by day's end. Hence, even I was summoned from Balanos. The imp issue is far from resolved, yet they demand a hasty disbandment. This spells trouble. Jordine, what could he have done to provoke such a response from Calpheon?
To be forced to dismiss the army at a time like this? Joe, what will you do now? Ah, it's your first time laying eyes on me, unhelmed. It is I, Baron Alfonso Rundi of Monverdel. Once the power of the Black Stone faded, I regained my true form. Handsome, aren't I? The disbandment order applies to my domain as well, so I rushed here to inform His Grace. I'm just waiting here while the Grand Chamberlain is having a private audience with him. Why did I drag myself to Heidel? Did you not already knock some sense into me? Thanks to Lady Isabel, I've managed to reconcile with Jerry. Not quite there yet with Joe, though. Even though they rule over us, it's an order I simply cannot comprehend.
Did you rest well? The world has changed overnight. It appears we have another busy day ahead. Captain Cliff has urgently requested my assistance. The disbandment order was issued because of what the Shadow Knights did. The Shadow Knights have long been deemed heretics in Calpheon, and Calpheon has persistently sought to address this thorn in its side. Following your visit to the extraction mill, they struck under cover of night, laying waste to the place. It must have been Sir Edmund who reported the incident to Calpheon, and then the disbandment order was delivered by dawn. Heretics were discovered in the Protectorate. Thus, the need to root out potential traitors justified their order to disband.
What? Oh, don't tell me. You're framing him? What, are you a spy from Calpheon? Huh?
Lady Jarrett, please, calm down. This adventurer is merely a wanderer who awoke with no memories.
Oh my. Come to think of it, Lady Jarrett was the first person to have met the adventurer after they awoke.
That's right, Jerry. Think about it. Remember all they've done for us. They probably didn't even know who the Shadow Knights were.
What business did the Grand Chamberlain have with them? Was it black crystals? Sacrificial offerings of virgins and children?
The king? The Shadow Knights seek a king now? Master Alustin, It was just as you surmised.
Indeed. It seems they aim to revive the Monarch of Darkness, Belmorn.
Belmorn? Captain, was Belmorn not the old king who ruled the fallen Hexa Kingdom?
Lady Jarrett, our chief concern should be the disbandment order. I need you to persuade the Grand Chamberlain to accept Calphion's terms. In the meantime, we will uncover the lair of those specters and drive off those scoundrels for good.
What are you talking about, Captain? Are you suggesting that we station Calphion's army within our borders?
Accept the disbandment order first. It will prove to Calphion that we have no allegiance to the heretics. And then, before Calphion's forces march into Serendia for a full-scale investigation, Alfonso, the adventurer, and I must locate the base of those bastards and put an end to them for good.
Lady Jarrett, Captain Cliff's judgment is sound. Should Calphion uncover any hint of heresy, Serendia would once again fall victim to the atrocities of war. Surely such an outcome is far from your desires.
Damn it! I don't understand a word of what any of you are saying. But it seems like I have to shoulder some responsibility as well.
Silence! Have you forgotten what those Calphion bastards did to me? You dare ask me to call in those soldiers again?
My lady!
Lady Jarrett!
Would the Grand Chamberlain truly accept that? A man who took great pains to raise an army just to strike at Calphion? It won't be easy.
Is this true? Alfonso, did you know? Why didn't you say anything to me?
It's true, Jen. Captain Cliff. If you had known, you would have marched to Heidel with the handful of troops you had. It's one thing for me to cross him. I've some degree of sovereignty. But to defy your leader and commander could brand you a traitor.
If it's true, we're dealing with a far graver issue. I knew the Grand Chamberlain has been up to something. Yet, if he is now bracing for a war with Calphion, who knows what he'll do when he feels cornered?
It seems there's no time left to lose. We must take action now. Adventurer, go to the council chamber immediately and keep an eye on the Grand Chamberlain. If the Shadow Knights approach him now, you're the only one who can stop them. Please. We'll persuade Lady Jarrett. Hurry!
Adventurer, please save him. I beg you. You're the only one I can trust now.
The Shadow Knights approach him now. You're the only one who can stop them. Please.
That's nonsense.
Your Grace, you've seen it for yourself. The foundations that Medea built itself upon.
Yes, Grand Chamberlain. I know it well.
Nice, dear.
Then why do you hesitate? Your Grace, why do you think Calphion took over Serendia? Black crystals. The black crystals. It's because of those black crystals. Reclaiming the rights to the black crystals will allow Serendia to prosper once more. We can welcome back the days of glorious splendor.
Grand Chamberlain, I am terrified.
You must remain resolute. The taxes are only temporary measures. If we can reclaim rights to the Black Crystal business, we can return the taxes to the people.
But how can we claim victory against Calpheon?
We have already completed the initial trials. If we supply harpies, sawnills, and trolls with pure black crystals, they will provide ample distraction for Delphi and Trina Knights. If we seize that opportunity, we can take the Chief Counselor's head.
Isn't it all too obvious? They've already seen right through you.
Already? What is this? Sir Edmund? What are you doing here?
Glory to the sunlight upon the eagle's feathers, Your Grace.
Speak.
I will be extraditing the Grand Chamberlain Jordine Ducasse to Calpheon.
Bastard, how dare you!
I'm sorry, Grand Chamberlain. I was fearful.
Your Grace!
Sir Jordine, you'll be wise to come quietly. You must stand trial before the Calpheon court. The trial will be fair, and if found innocent, Calpheon will compensate Serendia properly.
My fate does not end here. Not like this. This calls for a change of plan.
As I suspected, the Shadow Knights! You're the one who... Quickly! Execute the traitor of Calpheon! At once!
Sir Edmund, this isn't what you promised.
Where is he? Jordine.
Somebody please help!
Adventurer, you too. I truly believed you'd understand. Your Grace, there's no turning back now. Rest assured, you and the Lady Jarette will not be harmed.
Jordine, why on earth are you doing this?
For the glory, for the splendor of Serendia.
Jordine! Your Grace, please, pull yourself together. Oh, good grief. His Grace's condition is...
Adventurer, what in the world happened? Sir Edmund? Impossible. A knight of the Callous Parliament was used as a pawn? This is absurd.
Father? Father! Are you okay? Are you hurt?
Get away! Oh, Your Grace, please, pull yourself together. Oh, good grief. His Grace's condition is... Wait! Did you say Jordine disappeared with the Shadow Knights? Adventurer, head to where you first witnessed Jordine with the Shadow Knights. That watchtower. There's said to be a secret chamber beneath it. Master Alustin believes that to be their headquarters. We must stop them.
All has been set in motion. Bear witness.
The mark of darkness will descend upon us. We shall emerge from death's abyss. Finally comes to us.
Before the Almighty, the King of Hexa has returned!
Jardine, have you finally succumbed to the darkness?
Of course. I always knew it would come to this. Come at me. Seems I need more time to get accustomed to this body. Meldor.
Take cover!
Jardine.
That damn Jardine! To the very end! Does he not realize this path leads only to ruin? Jerry must be worried. Let's head back to Heidel for now, adventurer.
Protector of Serendia, I have been awaiting your return. More importantly, her ladyship is waiting. Would you kindly follow me?
Adventurer, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you? Father, he's been bedridden all this time. The shock has caused him great pain. What of Sir Jardine? You didn't kill him, did you? Al, tell me it's not true. He was your friend, wasn't he? Oh, what am I supposed to do? Oh.
Jerry, dry your eyes. I'm here for you.
Adventurer, can you spare a moment to speak? As the protector of Serendia, I believe you must be kept abreast of the current situation. As you can see, His Grace is not in good health. Lady Jarrett will soon take her father's place. Alfonso will step in to fill Jardine's vacancy, and my old bones are left to deal with the remaining imps. So the most important task now falls to you. Will you hear me out? According to Master Alustin, your destiny leads you down this path, even without me asking. Stop Jardine. No, stop Belmorn. It's a shameless request, but you are the only one to whom I can entrust this task. Lady Isabel will continue to assist you. She is one of the few nobles of Calpheon who still stands with Serendia. He was once my protege, so I cannot bring myself to ask you to end his life, yet I will respect any decision you make.
Adventurer, if you find him, tell him that I await him still. And as for you, proud protector of Serendia, we have prepared a place for you here to call home. When the road of adventure wears you thin, you can always find respite and comfort here with us. Adventurer, thank you for protecting Serendia. Adventurer, thank you for protecting Serendia. Yes. How can I ever forget him? I just hope that everything returns to how it once was. He left all on his own, intending to shoulder everything by himself. I feel so sorry for him. I will embrace him for an eternity if he returns, even if it means giving up everything I have. Adventurer, thank you. Funny, isn't it? I'm not entirely sure myself. When I first met you, I didn't like you for sure. The way we form bonds with one another, I'll never understand. But somehow, the person I trust the most right now is you. Oh, besides Sir Jardine, of course. Although, thanks to him, we're in quite a predicament at the moment. Adventurer, Calphion is preparing for the election of Chief Counselor. Adventurer, thank you for Calphion is preparing for the election of Chief Counselor. If the administration changes, the political landscape will surely shift. To unify the divided public opinion, it's quite likely they'll use Jordine as a pretext to crush Serendia once again. The most favorable outcome would be for Enrique and Karosha, a known ally of Serendia, to take the seat. But the odds of that are slim. Please stop Sir Jordine and prevent the situation from worsening. I will do what I can from here. Adventurer, thank you for protecting Serendia. I had no idea. Or did I? I want to believe I didn't. Perhaps I simply chose to ignore the reality. The ledger of that wretched girl at Elder Farm, the mercenaries gathered at Moretti Farm, the standing army, far too many just for bandits, and Bobby Lauren's ledger, clearly forged. But now, I cannot be deceived by such things for the sake of my people who've staked their faith in me. Adventurer, thank you for I thought I would marry Sir Jordine and become the wife of a duke, but alas, it seems I've now inherited all the duties of a duke myself. This world is so unpredictable. Nothing seems to go as planned. If by any chance he does return, can everything be put back in its place?
Warm greetings to you, Protector of Serendia. First and foremost, we must prove that there's no connection between the Shadow Knights and the Duke of Serendia. In order to do that, your role is of utmost importance. Please, lend us your aid. If Jordine falls into Calphion's hands, a blood-stained blade will be aimed at Serendia next. Warm greetings to you. The truth is, those troops were hastily assembled to keep the former Grand Chamberlain in check. Honestly, those soldiers could do with a good ass-kicking every now and again to keep them on their toes, if you want to stop by. Just don't hit them too hard. Don't want them any more traumatized than they already are. Warm greetings to you. To be honest, I'm ashamed to say that I'm uncertain. The farmland is in ruin, and there's little of the land to salvage. Rather than investing in the restoration of that region, it would be better to focus my efforts on restabilizing Heidel. Without Lady Isabel's support, I wouldn't have been able to hold out as long as I did. It's that much of a lost cause. Warm greetings to you, Protector of Serendia. Ah, well, of course. Honestly, in this situation, I can hardly think of anyone else qualified to take care of her. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Don't misunderstand, I have a family. I don't know how much you heard, but that's all in the past. We're mature adults now, aren't we? Warm greetings to you. Huh. Even you're greeting me like that? I'll say this as it's you, but it's making me uncomfortable. That Jordine left so many affairs unresolved. I'm completely consumed with cleaning up his mess. If he was planning to descend the world into darkness, the least he could have done is leave the state's affairs in order. Warm greetings to you, Protector of Serendia. Huh. Even you're greeting me like that? That Jordine left so many affairs unresolved. I'm completely consumed with cleaning up his mess. If he was planning to descend the world into darkness, the least he could have done is leave the state's affairs in order. Warm greetings to...
It feels like I'm meeting an old friend, adventurer. Oh, why ask me something like that so suddenly? Ah, yes, I did hear that you lost your memory. My family, like you, weren't originally from Serendia, but we've been settled here for quite some time. I once asked my grandfather where we came from. He just smiled and looked into the skies. It feels like I'm meeting an old friend. It was my fault. I misjudged the enemy's route and strengthened our forces at the capital instead of the border. But I didn't know it then. It was only after the war ended that I realized just how wrong my judgment had been. So when Jordine ostracized me, I obediently complied. I thought it was best that I keep my distance from him. It feels like I'm meeting an old friend, I was their swordsmanship master when they were boys. During the Calphian War, they were my most trusted subordinates. As soon as they enlisted, things began to take a turn for the better. Soon we had our enemies' backs against the wall. They were really remarkable lads. If it weren't for Roxanne, that sordid wench, victory would have been ours. It feels like I'm meeting an old... I've let Jordine's disdain for me allow me to neglect the welfare of my nation for far too long. I'll assist the Duchess and current Grand Chamberlain with stabilizing Heidel, and anything else they should need of me. And when it seems like this old man is losing his marbles, I hope to leave without any regrets. It feels like I'm meeting an... We've made significant progress since you defeated Red Nose and Geath, but there is still no end in sight. We're continuing to clear up the remnants, but those bastards aren't making it easy for us. Once we've made some headway, I'm considering handing things over to Balanos vigilantes and returning to Heidel. It feels like I'm
Adventurer, never forget your strength. Your resilience. It is my estimation that the Shadow Knights likely tried to make contact with you. Am I wrong? Perhaps they deliberately wanted you to interact with a high-purity black crystal simply to observe the reaction. When they sensed your power, they might have mistakenly assumed that Belmorn had awoken. Once they realized you were not, in fact, Belmorn, they likely began their actual preparations for his resurrection. You found an empty relic with Eden and Yaz, correct? That likely was their handiwork. It has been nearly a decade since the star fell upon the ancient stone chamber. Our paths are destined to cross again. I look forward to seeing just how you grow. Adventurer, never forget your strength, your resilience. I suspect that Belmorn is also related to the Black Spirit. I believed that you, a Black Spirit symbiote, might be able to read his journal, an assumption that I'm embarrassed to admit I never expected to pay off. You continue to intrigue me. I suspect that Belmorn is also related. In all honesty, yes. You're a Black Spirit symbiote, the likes of which we've not seen before. Should our objectives converge, we hope that you'll cooperate with us. Fear not. For we're not those who wish for the world to fall into chaos. Adventurer, never forget. I apologize, but I cannot tell you just yet. When the time comes, I'll let you know. Perhaps someday you'll embark on a long adventure alongside us. Adventurer, never forget your strength. You've more than proven your valor already. But Belmorn, he is something else. Eden, Orwyn, Yaz, and I are tirelessly seeking solutions. We should be able to offer you some assistance soon. Until then, it would be wise to avoid crossing paths with him. You are our only hope, which we cannot afford to lose. Adventurer, Never forget your regrettably, the Duke of Serendia has yet to rise from his sickbed. The shock must have been great indeed. For now, Caroline is attending to him.
Adventurer, I hope you will forgive my past rudeness. Well, the former Grand Chamberlain was quite exceptional in many ways. It's inevitable that he'll invite some comparison for a while. Still, being a student of General Cliff and having ruled a territory of his own, he should have ample experience. Adventurer, I hope you will forgive my... No. She only acts intimidating in the presence of others. She would never actually follow through. If that were the case, would an old man like me have survived this long? It's all just a misunderstanding. Adventurer, I hope you will forgive my I was the one who trusted the words of that wicked woman, Roxanne, during the war and evacuated Lady Jarrett. You understand, she still doesn't trust me. With His Grace no longer around, I'll probably retire soon. Adventurer, I hope...
Roxanne!
If you need anything, please let me know. Anything for a friend of the future Duchess. She had white clothes in her wardrobe, certainly, but she didn't wear them every day. But what makes you ask? It's not common for nobles to dress in white. If you need anything, please let me know. She was Prince Antonio's consort, as well as the woman behind the kingdom's downfall. I don't know the details. All I know is that His Grace took her in and raised her as his own. Such an ungrateful, wretched woman. How could she have dared repay his kindness in such a way? If you need anything, please let me... Yes, that's right. The eldest prince, Antonio, who briefly wore the crown, and the second son, Prince Sergio. There was also a third, Prince Vittorio. Alas, they have all since departed this world. His Grace was said to be very bright and full of vigour in his youth, but after losing his 3 beloved princes, he became a shell of his former self. If you need anything, please let me know. Anything for a friend of...
I thought only the Fogans wrought such chaos, but it looks like this place is a mess too. Thanks to you, everything's peaceful. The research isn't completely over yet, but we're making steady progress. All thanks to you subduing that terrifying Titium. I guess they don't call you a hero for nothing. I thought only the Fogans wrought such chaos, but it looks like this place is a mess too. Oh! Adventurer! I came to report the results of the Fogan research, but I heard a rather outlandish tale going around. They say the Grand Chamberlain has rebelled, and His Grace has been injured. Are you okay? I thought only the Fogans wrought such chaos, but it looks like this place is a mess too.
I was just trying to meet the quota. I did my best to help my country. You think I've got time to worry about that, when my own nose is to the grindstone? Come to think of it, it's all because of you. That's why I wanted to wipe out all those imps. But no, you had to go and cozy up to the imp boss. I was just trying to meet the labourers who conspired with the imp boss have reported me. They claim they didn't receive their salary. Those guys wouldn't even have a place to work if it wasn't for me. They're so ungrateful. If I feed those imps and even pay their wages, what's left for me to live on?
Oh, I promised you something in return for completing the mission, right? Here, take it. I don't know why you're collecting black stones, but if we're to work together again, I suppose I'll need to gather more. Anyway, let's set off for Calpheon now. We will need to pass through Delphi Castle first. I'll leave first with Povius. Let's meet at the entrance of the castle, rookie.
Quên bóng quẹt nè